What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Chase, aka CR Media. I'm here with the Sports Empire Network crew. I've got Kneecap Biting with Smoking Jeremy B. I've got Livewire Sports, and I've got my good man Dylan Reed, who's getting his camera figured out right now, but he's in this thing. Gentlemen, how we doing this morning?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How about y'all?
Another year older, not any wiser, but ready for some Lions football. All I want for my birthday is a goddamn defense.
Hey, happy birthday to you.
Absolutely. Big shout out to our friend Jeremy B. He, like he said, he's another year older. So, guys, for those that don't know, this show, we call it the Sunday Morning Drive. And why I like to call it the Sunday Morning Drive is because we're talking about the games when we're driving down the field till we get to the very end. Hopefully, by the time we get to the end of it, it's going to be time for kickoff, and we're going to be watching some fantastic football today. Let me snag my good friend here. Dylan, you with us?
Nope. He's still getting that camera figured out.
He gone.
I'm out. Put me in, coach. Nope, not yet.
Yeah,
so again, I was going to say again, we've got another situation where there's actually a football game going on right now in London. So
Saquon just ripped off a big run too.
Yep. So we've got the Packers and the Giants. The Packers are currently winning 17-3. If you guys like the content, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that follow button.
All I got to say is go Giants.
we're live on Sports Empire Network Facebook, and we're live on Sports Empire YouTube, guys. Our good friend, the boss man, Freddie Henderson, says, "Good morning, gentlemen."
What's going on, Freddie?
Yes. Kyle Edwards says, "Good morning, guys." Good morning, Kyle. So, guys, let's kind of get into this thing here. Obviously, with the score 17-3, who you guys got for this game?
Oh man,
I never root for Karen Rodgers. Go Giants.
I don't like Aaron Rodgers neither, and I definitely don't like the Giants because they're in the same division as me. But hey, anything to go against Aaron Rodgers, I'm for it.
All right.
I want Saquon to bust that Packer ass.
Well, it's 4 minutes left in the second quarter. It's 17-3 Packers. It's kind of weird. I'm with Jeremy. I don't care if the Raiders are facing the worst team in the league. I'm never picking the Raiders to win. That's just how it is. The Raiders are garbage. They're trash. Their fans are trash. Their whole existence is trash. Mark Davis and Al Davis are scumbags and all that good stuff. So I'll never pick the Raiders to win. But the fact that I just heard Livewire pick a division rival to win, that's a little weird to me. So, but
I get it because I'm tired of Aaron Rodgers getting to the playoffs, representing the NFC North and failing. I'm tired of seeing that. I mean, if he's that damn good in the regular season, how come he can't do more than one touchdown and 2 interceptions in a playoff game?
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Jake the Tribal Chief, man, we appreciate you joining this morning. Dylan, you good? You alive?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, when the broadcast started, I just couldn't hear anything. Like I saw all you guys talking, but like my audio just cut out, and then I rejoined and like still couldn't do it. But this time I just closed out and restarted everything, and now I'm good.
Awesome. So we're in this thing. Dylan, who you got? Packers or Giants?
Oh, I'm taking the Packers in this one. I feel like the Giants are a good team. I believe they're down. Oh, they're up right now, 17-3. The Giants, I think they have a false 3-1, if that's really a thing. If I could say false 3-1, because I mean, obviously they did earn the games, but that record is just kind of a little bit better, I think, than what they are.
It's first and goal right now.
I'm going to say right now, if we had a defense, we'd be 4-0.
Yep. And ifs only counting almost only counting horseshoes and hand grenades or whatever that weird ass thing that
and global thermal nuclear war, because you just got to get it within 100 miles.
Yep, that's right. So I'm sticking with the Packers here. Like Jeremy said
FTP.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that's right. So, but Jeremy brought up a good point. Aaron Rodgers, can get it done in the regular season, but can't get it done in the playoffs. Well, we're not talking about the playoffs. We're talking about the regular season. So,
right.
I'm looking for the Packers to finish out this game and continue it. So, Jeremy is not a fan, and I like it. And I like it.
I'm sponsored by FTP every day I do a show. And FTP is not the florist.
So the next game on our list, guys, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills? Bills win.
And so how we'll do this is we'll start with Jeremy. Jeremy kind of already gave his prediction. We'll go down the live wire, go to Dylan, and then we'll end with myself. So,
42 to 10.
What you think, Livewire?
Oh man, I mean it's Bills. Even though Pittsburgh starting Kenny Pickett, which I'm glad of that, but it's going to take him a few games to get a good rhythm, And you playing against one of the best teams in the league right now, in the Buffalo Bills. So, and I think, since the first game of the season, when the Bills came out hot, they kind of. They stumble against Miami. They play iffy against Baltimore. I think this is a game that they're just going to back out like how they did the first game against the Rams. So this game it'll probably be, I say semi-close in the first half. But like Jeremy said, Bill's going to annihilate Pittsburgh, man. I just think that Pittsburgh going through a lot of changes right now, and it's like I said, it's great that they put Kenny Pickett in now, let him get all of this experience, get all of these woes out the way and stuff like that. And then, I guess build on for next season, but it's Bills all the way on this one.
For me, I'm going to have to go the Bills on this one. Kenny Pickett started last week through 3 interceptions. He still looked good. He looked like he gave that team some energy. He gave that team some juice. He looked like a team player, something Mitch Trubisky didn't have. I don't know. He didn't feel like that locker room guy, the type of guy that would mold the team together, get the team to rally behind him or anything like that. And Kenny Pickett gave a little bit of that life in there, patting teammates on the shoulders, hyping everybody up, getting excited. And that's good to see. But also you're playing one of the best teams in the conference. I said last week that if the Steelers wanted to play Kenny Pickett, they needed to do it against the Jets. And they did, because they have this big amount of competition coming up. They got games against the Buccaneers. They get this game against the Bills. They had a lot of big competition coming up that Kenny Pickett's going to have to face. He's going to get a lot of experience in these upcoming games, and he's going to get hit probably a lot. He's probably going to throw a lot of picks, and a lot of people's perception of him is probably going to change in these next couple of weeks. But it's just going to be great. It's going to be growing pains for him, and that's what he's going to need at this point in the league. He's going to just need them rookie growing pains. But I'm still going to go the Bills on this one.
I'm definitely going the Bills too. I don't think Pittsburgh has it together yet. They're going to need a little bit more time. And let's be honest. Even with it together, I don't think Pittsburgh's taking down Buffalo. Buffalo's one of the top teams in the AFC, and Pittsburgh's just not there anymore. So our next game on the list is the Chargers and the Cleveland Browns.
I want to know which Chargers we're going to see. The Chargers that's been charging to the bottom of the division, or are we going to see the Chargers that showed up and won a game? I don't know. Until I see it, I can't confidently say they're going to beat the Browns, and I don't like the Browns. I think their roster without a real quarterback, because Jacoby Brissett is serviceable, but he's not good enough to keep them there at that top of that division. They just got lucky and won one. So I'm going to go Browns. They're at the Browns, right? Browns are at home. Yeah, they'll win because of the dog pound.
Myself, I mean, Jeremy said it. Which Chargers team you gonna get? Because I like the Chargers. I like their roster, but they really been a very inconsistent team, and they have not like put it together for full quarters. Especially when you're going against teams in the AFC like Buffalo, the Ravens, Kansas City 2 times. You know,
They lost to
you
the Jaguars 38-10. That's what I'm talking about. Which Charger we going
I
to see?
I honestly I picked Jacksonville to beat them last week because of the inconsistency they have. And right now, I'm not gonna pick them again. I'm picking the Browns because I think the Browns could do just enough to beat them. It's just gonna have to see how much the Chargers really want to. Because if the Chargers go 2-3, you pretty much going to be able to tell how the season going to unfold from the rest of the way. So either they put it together now or they won't put it together for the rest of the season. So I'm going Browns on this one.
I'll be the outlier here. I'm going Chargers on this one. Now, it does depend on what version of the Chargers you're getting. Are you going to get the Chargers team that struggled against Jacksonville? They're struggling a lot, mainly due to some injuries. I mean, they haven't been playing Keenan Allen. Justin Herbert's been having that rib injury. Austin Eckler's kind of been a little shaky in the running game. And then I'm pretty sure was it Joshua Palmer tore his ACL or Achilles, one of the two, and is out for the season. So, I mean, this team has been hit by injuries, and that's not something good with a young team, especially a young trying to get experienced team. And it probably doesn't help Staley out as much either, especially on offense. That was built around Justin Herbert, and now you don't have Keenan Allen. You don't have.
Didn't they also lose the Bosa brother to an ACL?
I'm not. Maybe to an ACL. I didn't think he was out for the season.
He's out for the season.
He's out for the season. Then, yeah. I mean, so they're losing the key pieces that was supposed to be on this dominant.
Next man up. I'm tired of hearing that excuse. Everybody says it about the Lions every year. You know what? Next man up. Because look at what happened. We were decimated last year. We only had 35% of our defensive starters. And this is why I am so upset with Aaron Glenn. And I'll get to that when we talk about it. But you look at what happened last year with the Lions. They were a mash unit. We only had 40% of our offensive line starting 7 games. Yet, we won 3 of those. The same with that defense. It was only 35% starters because they developed the players in that scheme. And then you come to a new year keeping 65% of that roster and start a new scheme is my bitch.
Yeah, and then going back on to my pick for the Chargers Cleveland game. With the Chargers, I mean, we can't forget. With Cleveland, sorry, we can't forget Cleveland lost a comeback game from the Jets. I mean, this is a Cleveland team that isn't too polished themselves. They still have problems as well, even with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. We said he's serviceable, but he still makes some decent mistakes. I feel like this is a Chargers team that's hungry and trying to look for a win, a bounce back win, just trying to build a little bit more momentum. I feel like the Chargers could win this game. It could be close, but I don't think it will. I would take the Chargers by 10 to 11 points.
So I'm gonna piggyback off of a lot of things that was said. Number one, the Chargers, yes, the Chargers have injuries. Yes, the Chargers have one of their star wide receivers injured. Let's stop with the Justin Herbert talk. Okay. Justin Herbert is a fantastically talented young athlete, and he's gonna do good to great things in the NFL. But don't put him on the same pedestal as 15. I'm tired of it. It's done. Take Patrick Mahomes has thrown phenomenal touchdown passes to Denard Robinson, Albert Wilson, Justin Watson. Take Travis Kelce out of the game, and Patrick Mahomes is still finding people to throw touchdown passes to. Trade Tyreek Hill away. Patrick Mahomes is still finding people to throw touchdown passes to. Stop comparing Justin Herbert to Patrick Mahomes, because it's not going to work. You
can say he's a top 10 quarterback all day, but I don't like saying that he's as good as somebody who's done more in the league. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick the Browns because I don't want to pick the Chargers, but the Chargers will more than likely win this game in all reality. and it's going to be. I think it's going to be a close game. I could see.
Me and you are simpatico there. You know, I'm not picking a rival.
Yeah, I know.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm not picking them, but you know, I could see them winning, and it's going to be a close game. Cleveland is a fucking mess. I mean, they are just it's awful. They don't know what they're doing, and it's not just like we can narrow it down in Los Angeles with the Chargers down to Brandon Staley. Number one, stop going for it on fourth down. Take your points, play defense.
Here's a couple of coaches that need to hear that same statement. Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Hackett.
Stop going for it on fourth down. Take your points, play defense. That's what you're supposed to do. Knock it off. You know, like I said, it all boils down to Brandon Staley. Now, with Cleveland, you could boil it down to just God is a cruel, cruel God.
I you know what I'm saying? I'm blaming Cleveland for getting what they got. They hired Bob Quinn as assistant GM.
Well, let's be honest, Jeremy. Like that organization has been cursed long before Bob Quinn.
Oh yeah, I mean they've been cursed as long as the Lions.
So like I said, no matter what you believe in supernaturally, whether you believe a God, whether you believe a universe, no matter what you believe, whatever it is cruel to watch. But yeah, no, I'm still picking the Browns, although I could see the Chargers winning this game. Next, we've got the Houston Texans against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. Who you got, Jeremy?
Jacksonville. They are playing like a complete team right now. Yes, do they have flaws on their roster? Yes, but they're covering it up with good decision and good coaching, which is something they didn't have. This is way better than the coaching we saw from Urban, I kicked my kicker Meyer last year. I like them. I think they're going to win big.
Honestly, Jacksonville do look good. I mean, they look good against us the first game of the season. They have been, I mean, they gave Philly a pretty decent game. If it was, they had a lot of turnovers, but they still managed to put points up. So honestly, you give Jacksonville under Doug Peterson another year with them and add more pieces, they are going to be a team that could probably make a wild card next year. I don't see it this year, but they going in the right direction. And the Texans, they just Texas. They just like anything in Texas right now, all over the place. So I think Jacksonville could win this big. You know what I'm saying? I really think they could win this game big. So I'm going Jacksonville all day.
Yeah, with me, I'm going to piggyback just basically what everybody said. Jacksonville's looking pretty good right now, a lot better than anybody expected, and coaching has a lot to do with that. Doug Peterson has come into this Jacksonville organization and absolutely changed the culture, how the players play, just everything about it. They made sure to get pieces around Trevor Lawrence. They just made sure to do what a proper franchise should do and build around your star quarterback and make sure he can stay protected. Just great coaching around him, just a great feel for him. And that's something good that Jacksonville's doing. I mean, I said at the start of the season that this team could be a 7, 8, 9 wins team, could maybe even shock some people and win their division. And they're doing that now. I feel like this is a good Jacksonville team. They just need to stay on the gas pedal, don't slow down. Don't try to make any miscues. Just stay on the gas pedal. It's working right now. So keep going. Don't try to change anything up or get cute. I mean, everything's working now. You're in your lane. Just stay in it. So I'm going to go Jacksonville on this one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I agree, Dylan. As long as Jacksonville keeps their identity, they will continue to win games. I don't think Jacksonville is going to win big games. I think Jacksonville will win this division, so I don't see them as a wild card. I see them getting in. I don't believe in the Colts, and the Titans. The Titans are
they're a mess.
The Titans are a shell of a team that never was. I've never been a big believer on Derrick Henry. I think that Derrick Henry was a flash in the pan, just like Chris Johnson. Just like a lot of other Tennessee Titan running backs. But Jacksonville can win this division, and especially facing against a garbage team like the Houston Texans. So yeah, it's a division game, so I don't think it'll be a big rip. I think it'll be a little bit closer, but I'm still taking Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake the Texans did was that big trade giving Miami all those picks for Laramie Tunstall, because he's done nothing and he's been injured off and on the field the whole time. But one thing I want to say is we can't really say that Houston's all that garbage because they've been in every game. They just can't close it out. And that's the difference between a good team and an okay team and a bad team. The good teams close out those games when they have that lead late, even if it's by 3 points. They're not a good team yet. They're a mediocre team with bad roster spots.
Absolutely.
That's what they are.
Absolutely. Jeremy's an expert on that because he's a Lions fan. And
You're absolutely right.
And I will I'm glad you corrected me on that, Jeremy, because I meant to say the Texans are a garbage organization.
There you go.
They're not a garbage team, but they've got a terrible owner. They got terrible front office pieces. The Laramie Tunsil trade, the J.J. Watt trade, letting J.J. Watt go, the DeAndre Hopkins trade.
The DeAndre Hopkins trade was because the coach didn't want him there.
Yep.
And he just said, fine, give me David Johnson and a 6th-round pick and you can have him. How would you trade away a top 10 wide receiver for a 6th-round pick and David, I can't play a season Johnson?
I mean,
before we move on, I want to ask you guys next year, because obviously it won't look that great this year, although it may. But I mean, there will be some arguments that it'll be done on somebody else's back, not his. But after next year, are we going to, after all the criticism that we made for Cleveland, and I'm one included, I'm one that made so much criticism of Cleveland when they traded for Deshaun Watson. Yep. But let me ask you something. After next year, are we going to be saying the same thing? That Houston lost that trade?
It really depends on what you see when Deshaun Watson comes back and plays against his own Houston Texans in Week 13.
Yep.
It was an 11-game suspension for a reason, because NFL are money-grubbing whores.
Well, and the reason why I said next year, I said is because he'll be coming back in Week 11. I want to give him a full season in Cleveland, and then we all may change our minds because, like I said, plus many people were like, "How stupid are the Cleveland Browns to trade for a quarterback that may never play again in the NFL?" And here he is; he's going to play, and if he's still as talented as he was with the Houston Texans, Cleveland may be onto something.
Has anyone that's missed a season and a half or more ever came back and played the same the first couple of years? Ever?
Michael Vick.
No, I was going to say
only one. Only one.
Yep.
Only one.
Yep.
Other than that, has there been anybody?
Not very many.
Not very many.
Not that I can think of. I said not very many, but not that
AP is the only one that comes to mind as far as a running back's concerned. But quarterback-wise, we haven't seen it. So he has not played. By the time he comes back, he will be 3 months away from 2 years since the last time he played a full game.
Well, I guess we could, if we quarterback-wise, I could say Tom Brady the year he got injured.
That was only 10 games.
Yeah. So, but like Chase was saying, it's kind of not, right now you can't really judge Cleveland too much because of the Deshaun Watson factor, because he's not playing. He will be back towards the end of the season, but we just gonna see him playing for a few games and whatever the case might be. But going into next year, you definitely has to grade him on because it's going to still take him a couple of games next year to really get acclimated anyway. And it depends on what pieces they put around him, whether Kareem Hunt will still be there and everything like that. So them are some of the questions. Are they going to be able to build around Deshaun Watson the way he wanted Houston to build around him when he was there? They trade away all his pieces and everything like that. So it's going to be interesting to see. I do want
I got a theory on why they traded away the pieces too.
I want to touch on something that we was talking about earlier with Houston. Is that if you think about the Houston franchise, they've been in a flux since they came in the league. You know, they drafted David Carr, they had Jadeveon Clowney, all of these, Mario Williams. They had all these great pieces. They just never put it together. So this franchise is pretty shaping up like the Cleveland franchise from back in the day.
Didn't they also draft D'Amico Ryans? They ended up with Ed Reed at safety at the end of his career.
Yeah.
And they've had great pieces. They traded away Glover Quinn to Detroit.
What's the the wide receiver they had out of University of Miami?
Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson, yeah. So
they had Arian Foster. They've had good teams. This Texans teams have made it to the playoffs.
Didn't they have LaMarcus Murray after he broke out in Miami too?
Yeah. Yep. So, like some of these Texans teams have had some good rosters. It's just a matter of they just can't put it together. Because I mean, some of the JJ Watt years have been really good.
They had good teams and bad coaching. Then they had good coaching and bad teams. And now they got a little bit of it all. They've got a mediocre team with mediocre coaching, and they can't get anything done. We've seen this picture before. This does not play out well for the coaching or the quarterback that's there. Because what happens when a next regime comes in, they're going to draft their quarterback and ship the other guy out. That's what's going to happen.
That's right. The next game we got, guys, is the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings.
I hope it ends in a fucking tie.
This is an easy choice.
I knew it. That's why I thought about it. I was like, maybe I might go reverse on this game. And then when I looked at the next game, I was like, nope, I'm starting with Jeremy. I'm starting with Jeremy knows.
I got it. Tie. 0-0. No points scored. Negative 100 yards for each offense.
Play their defense. This is this week if you got fantasy.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
You love that, don't you, Chase?
I do. I love it.
Oh, this God.
Let me be real. Minnesota should be able to trounce all over Chicago. They got a bad O-line. They got a mediocre secondary. They got two good pieces on defense. Two really good pieces. One up front, one in the middle. Roquan Smith, Robert Quinn. But neither one of them want to be there. So they're just going through the motions to get their next contract wherever they're going. They both asked to be traded, and Chicago refused to do it because they couldn't take on the dead cap. End of story.
Well, with that being said, go Vikings.
Yeah, it's really kind of hard. Oh, my bad.
Oh no, Dylan, it's on you next. I just made my pick. Go Vikings.
Hey, no, I was gonna say it's hard to follow up on that. Yeah, pretty much I'm going with the Vikings. The Bears' offense has looked lackluster. They got a little bit of Darnell Mooney action last week. You know, he finally caught some passes for more than like 10 yards. But with that being said, this Bears offense is horrible. Justin Fields has looked not good at all. This Vikings team is 3-1. They're 3-1, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
they're 3-1.
They should be 2-2.
Justin Jefferson looked a lot better.
I'm calling your ass out.
Justin Jefferson looked really good last week after having a lackluster week 2 and 3 where he wasn't getting a lot of production. So I don't see anything really different. So yeah, go Vikings.
I know this might be a bull pick, but I'm going to pick the Vikings. I love it.
Yeah, there is absolutely no reason to pick Chicago in this game, other than the fact that it's a division game. You know, I know sometimes division games can be kind of close, but Chicago doesn't look good on offense. They don't look good on defense. They're just it's not looking good over in Chicago. I don't think Justin Fields is a bad quarterback. We've kind of talked about this on the show a couple times. Dylan and Martin, you guys will know. I've made it very clear. You know, these organizations think that these organizations will look at a player and go, "We're going to make him fit our mold," when it should be the other way around. When you bring in a guy who's under the helm, he's the star of your team, the quarterback. You make the offense around him. You accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. That I use that saying all the time. I use it so fucking much that I want to put it on a t-shirt. Accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. Okay. You look at his strengths and Justin Fields' weaknesses, and you build around it. And teams like Chicago don't want to do it with these quarterbacks. And unfortunately, Justin Fields is going to suffer a very shitty NFL career because of it.
Let me be clear. I have not said that Justin Fields is trash, but I did say his name this year is going to be Bustin' Fields because that O-line has more holes than Swiss cheese.
Speaking of O-line, there's a lot of teams, even good teams this year, is having offensive line issues really bad. And it is, my team, Commanders especially, we have an offensive line issue.
Thank you, Commanders. You gave Hutch his first 3-sack game.
Yeah. And he have not did any. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. And it's funny because, I'm looking at teams that we should have figured should have good records, and they're not having great records because offensive line play is really, really, really bad this year. So, but I like Justin Fields. I think he's just in a bad situation, and with looking at the Bears' record, they 2-2. They could be 2-3. Now we see what they. You see what they be like next week when they very
easily, if you look at all those games and those close scores, they very easily could have been 4-0 or 0-4.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had key pieces in the right places, they were looking good and they just couldn't do it.
So
one problem.
Dylan's dead.
Yep.
Oh
yeah.
Am I good?
Either.
No.
No, you sound like a robot. You're.
It's that desk there. Oh, there we go. He's back. He's back. Yep.
Oh, it literally did nothing on my screen. Everything was perfectly fine. Like I saw myself, everyone was speaking, and I was like, "What's happening?"
And we're sitting there, we're waiting because we hear.
I don't know, man. It's weird. It worked perfectly fine on my Tuesday podcast. Did not have a single problem until the end, and that's just because my internet just died. We had something that went out, I guess. But like I was saying, the problem with this Justin Fields situation is this is not the regime that drafted him. Everybody is brand new there in Chicago. This is not anybody that was like, let's have Justin Fields. So part of me is thinking that they're trying to incorporate their offense and being like, does Fields fit this system? Well, we'll find out. He has a tryout year, basically. But is this the guy we really want? I'm not sure. They could go somewhere in the draft. They could trade for someone. We don't know what this team actually wants because it's not the people who drafted Justin Fields.
I was thinking that same thing, Dylan, because I think whatever they schedule, whatever their record ends up being at the end of the year, I can see them going for a quarterback. Just because they want to have their guy.
Yep. So this next game, we've got the Detroit Lions at the New England Patriots. So if Jeremy wants to go last, I'll start off. I'm gonna go with the 1-3 Detroit Lions here. I think I think that New England's offense is an issue. I don't think they have it figured out. I could have a whole hour show talking about the New England Patriots. But we're not going to do that. I think that Jared Goff is playing good. Jared Goff is playing great right now. Now, real quick, I do want to mention that Freddie Henderson earlier this week had told me that because Jared Goff has better stats than Patrick Mahomes right now, he's a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes right now. I've never wanted to. Are you trying to pause me?
No.
Martin, are you trying to pause me?
No. This is for Freddie.
Yeah.
This is for Freddie. I'm following Freddie. He cannot talk for the rest of the week.
I've never wanted to reach through the computer screen and slap somebody so hard in my entire life.
It's the Rams
that much of a homer.
The Rams fan in him. The Rams fan in him just has to have a little bit of love for Goff.
You can literally say, even though his completion percentage is not as good, he has been a better QB in this division than all three of the other QBs. He's got 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Before this game started being played, Karen Rodgers had 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Kirk Cousins, he's got 3 or 4 interceptions. Justin Fields, not only does he have like 6 interceptions, he's got 7 fumbles and leads the league, and he's probably going to get a couple more today.
Yeah. So, like I said, Jared Goff is playing great football right now. And the Lions offense, the Lions are not a great team. They're borderline a good team, but I'll tell you what, I have gravitated to the Lions because I absolutely, positively fucking love Dan Campbell.
Fuck yes.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna peel the curtain back for you guys. I didn't grow up with a dad. I had a stepdad who divorced my mom when I was very young, and my real biological father is out of the picture. But man, if I had a dad, bro, I wish Dan Campbell was my dad. I fucking love that dude.
Let's go.
I fucking love Dan Campbell.
Come on home. Come on home, Chase.
Dan Campbell is a guy I'd run through a wall for.
Here you go. My logo. Oh, nothing. I hit stop cam and it took me out.
Yeah, it does that. I don't know why it does that, but it does do that. But I see your logo down there. It's that animated picture of Dan Campbell. I like
eating Aaron Rodgers' kneecap.
Yeah. So I like I said, my pick is the Lions in this game. Who you got, Dylan?
So I'll just say this. So I'm a Seahawks fan. So of course I was rooting for the Seahawks last week. Really good.
There he goes again, broken robot and a frozen death stare.
Really?
Yep. There, he just moved and then it stirred again.
You guys ever seen the movie WALL-E?
Yeah, that's what he sounds like right now.
What was the robot? It was supposed to be yeah. Eva, that's what it was. The little female robot.
Is it good?
No, you're still froze.
Your video's froze.
There we go. And then look, he puts up 2 thumbs up and it goes bad again.
Your video's froze.
I can see everything. Fine. I'm gonna shut off my camera.
There you go.
All right.
Shut up, my camera might be an issue.
It's bad.
Like I can even hear video.
Here, Dylan, we're gonna go. If you want to leave and come back, Dylan, we'll go with Martin. Just leave and come back, and we'll see if we can get a better connection with you. Okay.
So we was talking about the Patriots and the Lions, right? So, oh man, I really wanted the Patriots to beat Green Bay last week. They had that game.
Oh, they gave up.
Yeah. This is going to be a tough one because Detroit has always played New England tough. No matter what it is preseason, regular season, they always play them tough. I don't expect nothing different from this game. Zappy gets the start. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, maybe Belichick might find something in Zappy enough to orchestrate the offense around him. But I think Detroit has been playing more sound efficient. They had the ups and downs, but I think Detroit is going to win this game just because Jared Goff has been playing pretty well. He's, I like Jared Goff. I think Sean McVay just didn't the things that you did with Matt Stafford, putting everything around him. You could have did the same thing with Jared Goff.
Well, wait. They did build it around Jared Goff and then traded Goff for Stafford. All they did was add 2 key pieces in the middle of the season. They added Odell Beckham Jr. And that was right when Robert Woods went down for the season. And then they added Von Miller. And that was a bigger reason why that defense got so good in the end stretch and covered up the 4 pick sixes Matt Stafford had in the last 6 games.
Yeah. So I guess was basically you just switched the same person.
Yeah. You went to a guy with a stronger arm, but less than stellar decision making.
But I mean, Jared Goff has. I mean, he.
No, I'm saying you watch that ball. I am not gonna lie. Matt Stafford has one of the 5 strongest arms in the NFL still.
Yeah,
While he's healthy. I'm going to say that right now because right now he's not healthy. You watch it. His ball has lost zip. He's not throwing it as far down the field, and it's been bad.
Well, I still like Jared Goff no matter what. I
You there, Dylan?
I hope.
I hope. Well, I like I said, Detroit always played Patriots tough, no matter what the situation is, even when Brady was there. But I definitely like I'm gonna pick Detroit on this one. I think the Patriots let one get away with Aaron Rodgers last week, and they had that game. I pull for them to beat them because I'm gonna pull for Pop Warner team against Aaron Rodgers if I have to. So
you already did.
Yeah, so yeah, it's Detroit for me today.
Yeah, I'm also taking Detroit as well. Like I was trying to say earlier, is basically that game was really good last week by the Lions, and they did that without their starting one receiver and their starting running back. I said last week Jamal Williams was primed to have a big game. He was great
They lost their 2 top receivers last week.
Sharp
and Amon-Ra was out.
Shout out to Josh Reynolds, dropped me 22 points on fantasy, picked him up last minute for a flex option. So thanks to him. Thanks to him, dropped 200 points in fantasy last week. So I mean, I killed it. But like I was saying, they did that without that. I mean, Jared Goff is having an amazing season right now. I would say amazing because no one expected the Lions to do that or him to do that, especially.
I'm gonna say when they saw how they built the roster, and if you look at his best season statistically that he's had across the board, it was the 2018 year when they went to the Super Bowl. You look at this roster now, and it's built very similar to that roster, but more speed in the wide receiver room overall because they got 3 speedsters once J-Mo comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, 4 if you add in Khalif Raymond, because Khalif Raymond's a 4-3 guy, but I don't consider him a wide receiver. I consider him a returner because he has those drop issues.
Fair. And this game was probably a game that would have been won by the Lions if probably Tariq Woolen didn't get that pick 6. I mean, I'm
not even blaming the pick 6. You know what I'm blaming? They finally got a stop that would have been a punt in that 3rd quarter. It was at the 47-yard line. And for some reason, there's a play clock malfunction, and they reset it and let them run it again. They get the first down, then they score. That was the key moment that lost that game. And I'm not blaming the refs. I'm blaming the guy up in the booth running the time clock.
Fair. I'm picking the Lions on this one. I feel like, man, I just to see Bailey Zappi just do good would be funny and just go off. But I like the Lions.
Don't even speak it into existence.
I like the Lions. The Lions are, I think, one of those teams that everybody just wants to see do good. Like we've seen years of them doing that. That everyone just everyone. I think Hard Knocks kind of gave the Lions this kind of image that people just want to see them do good. Like it's hard not to like Dan Campbell. I feel like when you see him talk to his players, when you see him get hyped up in games, you want to follow that man. Like Chase said, you want to run through a wall for that man. So yeah, I'm going to go the Lions on this one.
All right. It's my turn. I've done a lot of film study last year watching Bailey Zappi, not just his last year before he entered the draft, but every game he played because I wanted to know more about him because he was one of the first ones that I said, if the Lions were going to take a QB after the 4th round, he was one of the ones that I thought would be a good option. There was him, Skylar Thompson, and then it was Eric Barriere as a UDFA out of Eastern Washington University. Any one of those 3 I'd have been good with to sit for a year or 2 behind Goff while he's in the last 3 years of this contract. That being said, it didn't happen for any of them. But anyways, he is an inconsistent quarterback. He'll have 1 or 2 games where he looks lights out, lights it up for 1,000,000 yards, and then he'll have a snoozer in 1 or 2 games where he only throws 22 passes, completes less than half of them, and throws 3 picks. He does that. He is not a very mobile quarterback. He got yards in third down situations where it was close because he's smart enough and has the pocket presence to get out of that. That being said, everybody's like, oh, Lions are going to do this. New England has the 22nd defense. They're only 10 spots better than the Lions. They're giving up 24.5 points a game. The Lions have given up 35.25. That's not that big of a difference. The difference is they're only averaging 18.5 points a game, while Detroit is averaging 35 points a game. Let's go. I want the Lions to win. I'm predicting them to win. It's not going to be a double-digit win, though. I'd say it's going to be a score like 33-24. It'll be a 9-point win.
All right, guys. We're gonna keep the same the same rotation for this one, because we've got the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. So actually, we're not going to keep the same rotation. We're going to start with Dylan, and then we're going to end with myself. So Dylan, because Dylan's a Seahawks fan, go ahead and give it to us, sir.
All right, so I was breaking down the game yesterday, just writing and looking at notes. So looking at the injury report for this game, the Saints have a lot out. Marcus May might not play. Andres Pete might not play. Cameron might not play. Landry might not play. Winston's doubtful. They already announced Michael Thomas is out. They announced P.J. Williams is out, and they announced Peyton Turner is out. If the Seahawks, yeah. So if the Seahawks want to win any game this season and have a bigger chance, at least getting close to winning, like the NFC West, it's this time. I mean, everyone's 2-2 right now. If you want to win a game, you need to win games. He's been having, I would say, a pretty good first 4 games of the season. 1,037 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, which isn't too great. He's throwing at 77, which is number 1. It's the 3rd best QBR. The only 2 people left, Tua and Patrick. So, I mean, Tua.
There it goes again. Damn it.
Yeah.
Seriously. You got the Wally thing going.
I wish we had ads, because I could be like, oh, here's the perfect time to run an ad, and we could give
cover it up, let him come back in.
Dylan is pissed, dude. You're doing good.
You're doing great too. It was
I was gonna say, like, it started working just great right as you got pissed, because as soon as your picture became clear, I could see you going.
Right?
You were on a roll. You were on a roll, brother.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so I was also saying it's pretty good to be in a QBR range with Patrick Mahomes, but with that being said, that Seattle team hasn't really faced anybody. They faced Denver. Okay. They played San Francisco, and they were beaten in that game by San Francisco 24-9. The offense didn't really play well against that game. They played Detroit. No offense. I'm not sure how 100% your guys' defense is. And then we've also played the Falcons, which is another team that isn't like known for how great their defense is. So it's a lot of this could be like contributed to, is it just the teams they've played, or is like this team for real? And if they want to have a better chance to do it, I mean, I guess a game like this won't really show, especially with how injured they are. But if Gino wants to kind of keep that hype rolling for him, he's going to have to do something, especially in a game that should be something they should win. So I'm going to go Seattle in this one. I feel like Seattle's going to be able to win this game. I'm hoping for another big game from Rashad Penny. He had 151 yards last week. Seattle needs him to get rolling. They need a lot more rushing production, because this is going to be a lot more of a run-heavier team. Kenneth Walker's questionable, so I'm probably expecting him, if he doesn't play, for DJ Dallas to probably get a lot more snaps in this game. I'm going to go Seattle for this one because the Saints just have a lot injured. I mean, it's going to be basically Cam Jordan and Marshawn Lattimore out there. That's it. And then Chris Olave just catching passes from Andy Dalton.
I love that you got a Seattle game to talk about, because I want to talk about something other than the game when I get to my turn.
And then maybe we get some Taysom Hill action. But if Seattle wants to win this game, if they want to be 3-2 and have a good chance to win this NFC West, they need to win games like this. I mean, I'm not saying Seattle isn't for real, because you never know. You always get shut in the playoffs. I mean, not everybody was 100% sold on the Bengals and was surprised when they last year. So it's a team that has played these, especially with as much as could to win this.
Yeah, I agree with Dylan. Saints is pretty banged up, all over the place. Uh, and if Seattle wants to, I mean, sometimes you have to take the wins when you could get them. But
One of them.
it helps you. It helps you build on what you as a organization or as a team what you're trying to do. So with everything going on with the Saints, it'd be a miracle if the Saints won this game with all the injuries they have. But Seattle has a chance to really steal a game to go 3-2. And they got a win over Denver, which they don't look good either. So then they got another win. I think this could be another win for them. Seattle is just like every most of all the teams, like the Houston's, the Saints, the Falcons, and all them. They all about the same tier of teams, and you just got to take a win when you could get it. So I'm gonna pick Seattle to take this win from the Saints because of the Saints don't really have all of the main guys that they want to have on that team right now.
All right. I got the Sea Chickens winning too. That being said, I want to talk about you guys got a buttload of picks coming up and possibly a top 5 because Denver looks like ass. But anyways, is it all Russell Wilson's fault? No. Is it play calling? Yes. Is it the fact that Russell Wilson hasn't been the same player since his injury last year? Yes. That being said, I still got Seattle winning this game because the beige water pistol can't do crap. Andy Dalton, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Chase?
Yeah, I'm going Seattle on this one as well. New Orleans, hasn't looked the same without Sean Payton. They're cycling through quarterbacks. I don't think this New Orleans Saints team has an identity because they don't know who their quarterback is. Even at the beginning of the season, you didn't know who the quarterback was. So, I mean, is it Jameis Winston? Is it Taysom Hill? Who is the New Orleans Saints quarterback? Who are they going with? Who's their guy? They don't know. And that's
the beige water pistol.
Yeah. they have no idea what their identity is. And
do you remember what Andy Dalton's original nickname was before everybody realized, oh, that's not good? They changed it. Yeah, it was the Red Rocket.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, a guy that's named after a dog's wiener. Ain't that great?
Wait, he said after a dog's wiener.
Yeah. Anyways,
I couldn't help it.
I think we all agreed on Seattle, didn't we?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Miami and the New York Giants.
New York Giants. Aren't they playing right now?
I mean, New York Jets.
Oh, the Jets?
All right.
Well, with Teddy Two Gloves playing, I see Miami getting it. Now, Miami could get it, but I don't know. Jets are being sneaky good right now. They're beating some teams they shouldn't. And they're at home. And that Jets crowd gets nasty and loud. So maybe the Jets win this. I don't know. I love Zach Wilson throwing bombs and banging moms as a tagline. It's awesome. But anyways, Jets win. Let's go.
Man, this game could go either way, and it depends on how Teddy Bridgewater plays. He could manage the game, or he could pretty much give the game away. The Jets have been sneaky good. They've been pulling out some games that we was like,
what?
Yeah. So, man, if I was betting on this game, it'd probably be even for me. But I don't know, man. For some reason, I think the Jets is going to win this game. So they should they win this game? No, because of what Miami looks like. because Miami has beaten Buffalo. They beat the Ravens, but that was Tua. Now that Tua is not there, can Teddy Bridgewater manage? We'll see. But in a close game, I say a 2-point game. I give the Jets the edge on this one.
I thought I was going to be the different one for picking the Jets, but yeah, I'm taking the Jets in this one. I don't know. I just have a hard time picking teams when they don't have their starting quarterback in there, especially a team that runs a lot of big, deep play, like big shot type of scoring plays, and that's what you get at Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. They're not like mid check down type of players. If you do check it down, they're going to get like 80, 90 yards. That's like the type of plays that they do. So I'm taking the Jets in this one. Zach Wilson kind of stumbled in his first half. It's a Steelers, and then really in that second half, he's just going to come on the game. Yeah, I might.
Damn it!
Probably win it.
All right. I am going to go with I'm going to go with the Jets. I like the Jets picking this because Miami has issues with injuries and everything going on there. And the Jets, like Jeremy said, the Jets are being super sneaky right now. I mean, this game is going to go one of two ways. Miami's either going to blow them the hell out, or Jets are going to keep it close and somehow sneak away with a win.
Interesting factoid here. Sauce Gardner has yet to give up a touchdown even in the NFL. That is 1,293 snaps without a touchdown.
So, yeah, like I said, it's going to be a weird game, but I'm going with the Jets. So, guys, the Atlanta Tampa Bay game is next on my list, but I have jumped out of here twice, not being able to talk about the Chiefs game.
Let's do it right now.
Yep. So we're going to skip to the Monday Night Football game, Chiefs, and then I'm going to bounce out of here and let you three gentlemen finish. And I'm going to start off with this. It's the Chiefs and the Raiders Monday Night Football, and yeah, it's in Arrowhead.
Can we say no Moss?
Huh?
Can we say no Moss on that game?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's in Arrowhead. It's Monday Night Football. I heard last week they picked against the Chiefs and went with the Buccaneers. This week I'm saying, ha! I turned the camera off and I sat in the backstage area and I let y'all go. I'm going with the Buccaneers in this one. I'm going with the Buccaneers in this one. Nah, not today.
I said Chiefs. I said Chiefs.
I think you were out. I think it ended with.
That's because Tom Brady was upset that Giselle left him to go out with Zach Wilson.
No,
me personally, come
on, that's great, Chase. You love
it. For over 20 years, I just don't pick against Tom Brady, no matter what the circumstance is. It's just I never do it.
I do in the regular season. In the postseason, I don't.
If it was in the playoffs, the Super Bowl again, I'd have a hard time. I mean, obviously, I'd go with the Chiefs, but it'd be one of those nail biters again. But no, the Chiefs looked absolutely great last week. They had some offensive mix-ups in the Colts game, and it's what they needed to do. They needed to sew those up. Patrick Mahomes is playing phenomenal football right now, as he always does. They've got a fantastic running game. They've got a two-headed monster coming up, guys. And it's crazy because when you're a homer, about those small guys. Everybody talked about Isaiah Pacheco in the offseason. And Isaiah Pacheco came in for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's playing lights out running football right now. So we had a lot of issues with him having injuries. We had some issues with fumbling last year. This year, he's playing lights out. He's another weapon in that offense. Who gives a flying fuck that Juju Smith-Schuster is not producing? Juju's not the number one wide receiver anymore. News flash, guys. Breaking news. Patrick Mahomes does not need a number one wide receiver. When you are throwing touchdown passes to Denard Robinson or to Albert Wilson, to Justin Watson, I mean, I can name MVS. I can name the nobodies that Patrick Mahomes throws touchdown passes to. You don't need a number one wide receiver.
I even caught a touchdown pass in my dreams from Patrick Mahomes. So, hey, there you go.
That's what I'm saying. Put Dylan's ass on the field, get him in some pads, get him a shirt, get him a helmet, and he's gonna catch a touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes.
I played receiver in high school. I'm ready.
You don't got it. Put kneecap biting, smoking Jeremy B. Wheel his ass out there on the field. Get him out there.
Pro.
He's catching a touchdown pass.
As long as I'm on roller skates, I'll be fast.
That's right. It does not matter. So the Chiefs are like I said. I said it to Freddie, and Freddie can disagree. Freddie, you come find me. My address is 2208 Crystal Avenue, Peculiar, Missouri 64078. Freddie, you come find me. Meet me and get this work, Freddie, because I'm telling you right now, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, and it's not even close. I don't give a fuck what Jared Goff's stats are. I don't care. The game and this game is going to be an absolute embarrassment of the Las Vegas Raiders. Do you know why? Because the Las Vegas Raiders are an absolute embarrassment of an organization. Absolute embarrassment. They have kept Derek Carr without, like I said, building around Derek Carr. You have let Derek Carr get thrown around and get pushed around and demolished the past 8 years, and you have done nothing about it. And you bring in Davante Adams, who's supposed to be an elite wide receiver. He's not. And it's not even a discussion now. We're still early in the season, but by the end of the season, I'm going to need everybody to acknowledge the fact that Davante Adams is just another Green Bay wide receiver who left Aaron Rodgers, who's an elite quarterback, and did nothing on the new team, like everybody else who has left Aaron Rodgers and went to do great things. My good friend James, who's my co-host on the Arrowhead Asylum, which you can catch on Sports Empire Network on Tuesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, says Chiefs win this week, 42-10.
True. It might be less than that. Maybe more than that.
Gentlemen, if I had a mic, I'd drop it, but I don't. It's on a boomstick. So with that being said, I'm gonna let y'all finish out, and I'm gonna bounce out of here. I'm gonna go to work. My job is super easy. I sit on my fat ass and I sell insurance to old people. So I'm gonna watch some football, probably do some coke, and drink some beer. And that's it, guys.
Chase you wild, man.
Yep.
Coke, bar, and hookers. There we go.
That's right.
All right, man.
You tell Freddie Henderson I said to kiss my fat ass.
And I'm going to say one thing. If the Chiefs continue to play the way they did against the Bucs, they can't be beat.
Yeah.
They can't be beat. I don't care who they're playing.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough to beat the Kansas City the way they're rolling right now. I mean, they're rolling really, really.
I said 72 points are being scored in this game as a total for my weekly pick'ems as the tiebreaker.
I say this, like, Chase alluded to it. If the Chiefs play Tampa in a rematch in the Super Bowl, that's the only way I see the Chiefs probably somehow, some way not winning that game because of Tom Brady. But I think if they played anybody besides the Bucs in the Super Bowl from the NFC, they're going to win that game. And it's not going to – the game won't even be close because the Chiefs – what they doing now, you think they was putting up points with Tyreek over there. They have multiple ways of putting up points. They have multiple ways of scoring. And this is what I always say, that when people was talking about, they was giving Patrick Mahomes that crown. I say, I want to see him play quarterback in multiple ways, not just using one single receiver, not using one tight end. I want to see everybody gets involved because we all know Andy Reid's offense from Philadelphia days. Andy Reid, when he had the two receivers back there, Freddie Mitchell and all of them guys back then. He was able to put the ball down the field. He had Westbrook and all of them running the ball, catching the ball out of it. His offense has not changed. He just have a more dynamic quarterback at the helm. You know what I'm saying? And Patrick could do so many different things. It is hard to really get a read or key on it. You have to play very sound defense to really somewhat neutralize just a little bit of him. You're not going to neutralize all of Patrick Mahomes. Unless you just playing lights out defense and you blitz every down. And sometimes that's not a recipe for disaster. But I think, and after the game with Tampa Bay last week, I'm telling you, Tom Brady is really giving a torch to Patrick Mahomes. They have this mutual found respect for each other. It's like a...
Did he actually shake his hand, or did he walk off the field and pouted?
No, every time they played each other, win or lose, they embrace. They talk in midfield. They talk and they tell each other. He told me that he loved him. He said he loved his game. He loved watching him. They have mutual respect for each other. There ain't too many people that Tom Brady gonna have mutual respect for in the league, as a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, his relationship with Patrick Mahomes, even when he was in New England, it has built really close. You know what I'm saying? So it's great to see, but like you said, Jeremy, Patrick Mahomes right now and Andy Reid, they on a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? And right now, if they keep rolling the way they are, now we have seen this. We have seen this in the league before. Teams go out to these hot starts and be dominant, and then all of a sudden that playoff comes because it tightens up in the playoffs and teams fall to. But I just think Kansas City is different. Because you got Ravens and the Bills that's still trying to catch them. So, yeah. But my pick for that is Kansas City. I don't think the Raiders don't have enough to compete with them. And it could be a shutout. It could be 50-something to zip.
Man, I don't think it's going to be anything like that. Hearing some of those scores, I'm like, oh, wow. A lot of people dislike the Raiders.
I dislike the Raiders. I respect the game that the Chiefs are doing that much. There's a big difference there. I like the Raiders. I didn't think they were going to be in the basement of that division, but they are.
I feel like the Chiefs are going to win this game. I feel like going back on what you said, I feel like a lot of the respect Patrick Mahomes gets from Tom Brady is because Mahomes just came into the league and he was like that. He was dominant. Like, of course, he had that 1 year where he didn't play and then had played that one last game. And then since then, he's been like that. And you just have to respect a person who goes out there and plays. He's just a baller. That's all Patrick Mahomes is. That's all he wants to do. The Raiders played good last week. I don't want to don't want to sell the Raiders short by any means. Josh Jacobs had an absolute amazing game. And I feel like Derek Carr gets a lot of hate. I'm not sure if I believe with the statement Devontae Adams isn't elite or a number one wide receiver. I think I'm more of a person that likes to wait till the end of the season. And if he isn't, I will definitely tell Chase 100%. You're right.
And I think he's a little injured right now, too.
Yeah, he might have a little bit of injuries, but I'm pretty sure he had at least one game this year where he had at least 140 receiving yards.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little bit for him to get back into this system. Not all great receivers. I mean, we thought Kenny Golladay was good and we saw him left and he was horrible. And he's still been horrible. But there's been many times where receivers have left and then went to a new team, started off slow, and then it just took a matter of time. I'm not sold on the fact that Devontae Adams is not number one or an elite wide receiver. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold those until the end of the season. The Chiefs will obviously be the team in this one. I think it should be a little bit closer than what people are saying. I mean, a 10, 11-point victory, maybe 14 should be fine. But I'm not saying 42-10.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
So,
all right. Real quick, Chase threw up a couple of comments. One is Ken Ballrick. That is my dad. He's 73 years young and still watches Lions football with me. And the other is Big Dan Davis. He says, good morning, everyone. It's a good day for some football.
Hello, Dan, and hello, Ken. Dan and Ken. That sounds like a sportscasting announcers.
Yeah. Sport cats are sounds like some of the most generic names, I feel.
I know, right?
You got like Chris, Tony.
I guess, guys. Since Chase went to the Kansas City game, we go back to the Falcons and the Buccaneers game. They both 2-2. Like I said, everybody's having offensive issues, in Tampa right now. So, Jeremy, I'm gonna start with you, then drop down to Chase.
Okay, which one was this? Atlanta versus Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Tampa Bay winning this one. Atlanta is dog shit. They just lost Cordarrelle Patterson for the season. The only receiver they got is Drake London, and as long as Marcus Mariota is starting, they won't win another game.
Dylan?
Oh, I was just going over that statement in my head. So Cordarrelle Patterson's out for the season?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't 100% sure if he was out for the season.
ACL and LCL, was it? I know it was two injuries. One is the ACL and then something else.
I heard he was supposed to get for a little.
No, he went out for season-ending surgery. Oh, there goes Dylan's internet again.
Hopefully he can tap back in. But I'll go ahead and make my prediction on this game. Tom Brady has not lost 3 straight in forever. So I hold on. Chase said, yeah, Chase, I got you on the next couple of games. Like I said, Tom Brady ain't lost 3 in a row in forever. Now Julio won't play this game, but I don't think they really would need Julio because they got Mike Evans back, they got Godwin, they got Russell Gage. Russell Gage might have a breakout game against the Falcons, So there you go. So they don't need Julio, and then Cole Beasley retired. So, but I'm going to throw out a little caveat here. Don't be surprised Odell Beckham Jr. plays for Tampa Bay towards the end of the season, somewhere down there when he's fully healthy and ready to come back. I know the Rams want him back, but watch out for Tampa Bay. That's because I think last year Tom Brady wanted him, but he never got him. And they are good friends. So that's something to keep your eye out throughout the season. Dylan, go ahead and finish your prediction.
Yeah, I'm basically going to keep it short. I'm going Tampa Bay. Atlanta has a lot of problems. Kyle Pitts is injured. Cordarrelle Patterson's out for the season. Tyler Algier looked good, had around 80, 90 rushing yards, but again, he's still a rookie. Tampa Bay should win this game. Their offense started connecting last week, scored the most points that they had. Tom Brady almost had 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. Definitely the best season game he's had last season. Buccaneers offense is rolling. Mike Evans is healthy. Yeah, Buccaneers.
All right. Now we're gonna roll to Tennessee and my Washington Commanders. So therefore, since this is my team,
you go last.
I go last. I'll let y'all have that one.
Neither team is playing great right now. Both teams are struggling. They can't seem to get both sides of the ball working at the same time. One weekend the defense is good. The next weekend the offense is good. There's something going on. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say it's coaching on the Titans side because we've seen Mike Vrabel coach that team very well. Mm-hmm. So it has to be something in the locker room. Something's causing a divide. I don't know what it is, but they got to get that straightened out. It's going to be a nail biter. This game could end in a tie. I want to say the Titans win because they have more talent on their roster overall.
Yeah, with this game, Treylon Burks.
It's hard. Treylon Burks is out.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Treylon Burks is going to be out with at least out for 4 weeks, turf toe. He hasn't looked great either. First round pick, traded AJ Brown away. Supposed to be the dude to replace him, and he's looked bad. I mean, he hasn't been able to get in game shape really, and now he has this toe injury. Still have Derrick Henry. I'm going to pick the Titans on this one because the same exact reason. I just believe they have a little more talent on their roster. Shout out to Brian Robinson Jr. I believe he's playing this week for the Commanders. Shout out to him. I hope he has a great game. I mean, if he's the key factor,
I may have to revisit this.
If he's the key factor in this game, like I hope he goes for 200 yards and just goes crazy. If we're being honest, but I'm going to take Tennessee just because I feel like they have a little more momentum for one, and I feel like they're just a little bit better just overall roster wise. So I'm going to go Tennessee on that one.
All right. For me, Derrick Henry, he causes. I don't agree with Chase because I think Tennessee always. From Chris Johnson to Derrick Henry, they are two great backs. I think just when you have great running backs like that, you got to put the whole repertoire of offense together. You got to have great receivers, great quarterback play. You can't rely on running the ball so much. That's Chris Johnson used to be a home run hitter every time he touched the ball, but he was never ever consistent, like in short yardage. Derrick Henry can hit you from both ways, but he wears you down a little bit after a while. As for my Commanders on the defense side of the ball, that's one of my biggest problems with this team. They can't get it together. You got Fuller, you got William Jackson III. I think they auditioned for Law and Order SVU as a special victims unit. So, with that being said, these guys, them guys getting 30 to 40 million, and they ain't not doing nothing. Me, honestly, if I was the coach of the team, I know you got to play players who making money, but guess what? If you're not producing on the field, you sit and I'm putting somebody out there that's hungry. You know what I'm saying? You do it in college all the time. Carson Wentz got to get it together. He got to get the ball out of his hand. I'm excited to see Brian Robinson come back. I know he probably be on a limited snap count. Logan Thomas is out this game. I think a hamstring injury. Jahan Dotson. He's out this game, which he's tied with Stephon Diggs for the most touchdowns in the league, 4 right now. So, yeah. I was actually rooting for Jahan to be offense rookie of the year. Hopefully he'll be back next week or so because we play Chicago, and that's to be another take on another day. Washington ran the ball very effectively against Dallas last week, something that they should have kept doing. Now with Brian Robinson, they should be able to run the ball, use Antonio Gibson in a passing game a little bit more, him and J.D. McKissick. Now, we do have more tight ends. Cole Turner, I think he's activated this week. We still got Amari Rogers, the guy from college, used to be a quarterback. He should get more playing time. I just never was happy. I wasn't satisfied because Logan Thomas came back and he started, and even though he had some moments in the game, but I just felt like he was not completely healthy the way he's supposed to be. So allow other people. Now Terry McLaurin should have a breakout game because he had almost a career game against Tennessee the last time they played. So with that being said, this game should be I think it'll be really close. I think Tennessee on paper should win. But I'm going with my Commanders in a close game, probably 20-17, just because I think we can move the ball, we can do certain things, but can the coaches allow that to develop throughout the game, consistent from quarter to quarter? So, I think the next game we haven't covered, I think the Cowboys and the Rams. Now, this is going to be a battle of defenses. Cowboys with Cooper Rush looking good. What you think, Jeremy?
Cowboys on defense look great. I'm starting Cooper Rush in fantasy, if that tells you anything. The Rams defense has not looked that great all season. They can't seem to stop anybody. Jalen Ramsey looks like he's doing his best impersonation of Eli Apple, burnt toast and blind. Trayvon Diggs is starting to look like an actual corner instead of just a great interception thing. He's had more pass breakups, less yardage against him. It's actually looking better for him. Last year, I said, you know what he is? He was Marcus Peters, rookie year 2.0. Ton of interceptions, but gave up a ton of yards and great QBRs against.
That's the Dan Quinn effect.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, he's having a decent year. And I think the Cowboys win. I think they can go into SoFi and light that ass up. Matt Stafford is the second most hit quarterback in the league and the most sacked right now. He passed Burrow. That O-line is trash. His arm doesn't look good, and I was talking about it. He had that extreme tendonitis where it didn't allow him to play all preseason. He's taken a cortisone shot every week before the game just to be able to throw the ball, and it looks like he doesn't feel his arm when he's throwing. He doesn't know where the ball's going when he's throwing it. That's why he's leading the league in interceptions, and I expect him to throw 3 more this week.
Yep. Dylan?
Man, I'm gonna go the Rams on this one, just because like I find it like it's just tough. It's tough for me to pick up it. Like I don't 100% believe in the Super Bowl hangover. I feel like this is a game the Rams need to get back on track. You know, if they get lit up by Cooper Rush this game, my bad.
The Super Bowl hangover usually only applies to the losing team.
Yeah, but man, it'd just be upsetting if Cooper Rush lit up this team. It would say a lot about where the Rams are at and where they're going to be, especially in this NFC that is, I would say, fairly open. I mean, outside of maybe a Tampa Bay or Green Bay, I would say a Philadelphia. I would say the NFC is pretty wide open, and a lot more than what the AFC is. And so, with that being said, these are games that they need to win, especially if they lose to Dallas, to a Cooper Rush team. What makes you think they're going to be a Dallas Dak Prescott team, who I think is a better quarterback in this offense? You know, they need to definitely make some strides.
Wait a minute. You're saying Dak Prescott is a better quarterback in this offense when he doesn't read well and has more interceptions and lost the first game, and Cooper Rush is undefeated, who actually reads defense as well, hits other wide receivers than just the number one target.
I'm saying if you look at both quarterbacks and their talent right now, I would rather have Dak Prescott over Cooper Rush. I feel like he would get.
And I think you bumped your damn head.
I mean, you're a liar. So.
No, I'm telling you from the outside looking in, Cooper Rush looks like a more complete quarterback than Dak Prescott.
But Cooper Rush has had chances before. This isn't Cooper Rush's first time playing in this Cowboys
offense.
offense.
And guess what? He's undefeated as a starter for the Cowboys.
I don't.
And I'm talking about going back to last year when Dak was hurt and he played the one game. He won that. This will be his 5th win in a row if he wins today.
Maybe, but I don't.
And Kurt Warner can't even say that as a UDFA QB.
Maybe, but I don't think Cooper Rush.
Maybe it's the facts.
No, I'm saying like maybe he might be better, but I'm saying I think Dak Prescott is a better quarterback, and I feel like I don't think.
I've never thought Dak Prescott was a good quarterback.
I'm not saying I'm saying Dak Prescott's a better quarterback than Cooper Rush.
I've never said that either. I've said Dak Prescott, he only got paid because Jerry Jones loves him.
That's fair. That's probably also why Zeke got paid. I mean, it's why Tony Pollard is an RB1 and he probably should be.
Well, can't somebody love me and pay me?
Fair. I'll
exactly.
I'll take $40 million.
I'll take pine riding money. What is the league minimum right now? $630,000? I'm good.
I'll say.
Yep, there goes his dial-up acting up again.
So Dylan, you say you taking the Rams in this one?
He did.
Okay. All right. This one for me, it's tough because Dallas is in my division, and I always want them to lose. But I have to be really real and honest about this. The Rams don't look good. The Falcons should have had them. You know what I'm saying? The Falcons had them. And if Matthew Stafford tendonitis in his elbow is going to be an issue all year, they won't repeat. They won't probably even make it out the first round. After watching the 49ers, because I grew up watching the 49ers and Washington, so, you know, Washington is my number one. 49ers been my second, and 49ers always had the defense and they always had the Rams number. No matter what the situation is, we go back in history up to now, 49ers always dominate the Rams, you know what I'm saying? And I think now that the division is tied with the Rams and all of them with 2-2, a loss to be a game back in that division depends on how everybody else does today. I don't see them having an answer for Michael Parsons, regardless the Cooper Rush effect and everything, because I feel like they changed the offense to fit Cooper Rush style, and I think they need to apply that same thing to Dak to be successful and continue to run the ball. But Dallas defense, along with Philly, are the two top sacking defenses in the league right now. And if you thought San Francisco got after Matthew Stafford last week, you crazy, because Michael Parsons is going to be hard to deal with, and Dan Quinn does an excellent job moving him around. He does an excellent job with Trayvon Diggs now, because Trayvon Diggs was the league leader giving up yards last year, even though he had 11 interceptions. But now he's making him play more complete with his head turned, not being so much of a gambler, and he's taking your best person out. It'll be interesting to see Trayvon on, because Trayvon's tall, he's an athlete. I would love to see him on Cooper Kupp.
You have to do that. There's a reason you have to do that, because Cooper Kupp is the only one getting any separation. He's the only one getting open, and he's the only one that Matt Stafford trusts now. And other than that Koronacek or whatever his name is.
Now, if you
the Cooper Kupp spy.
Oh. If you force Matthew Stafford to go somewhere else, and to be honest with you, the Rams don't have a running game. They does
not look the same.
They don't have a running game, and they can't run the ball, and you can't throw the ball, especially if you got a quarterback that's hurt. You can't expect for him to throw 52 times the whole game. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, I see Dallas winning this game, and it won't be because of Cooper Kupp, because he's going to manage the game the way they want him to manage the game. That Dallas defense is going to be the issue that creates the opportunities for Dallas offense. And then Zeke and Pollard and Gallup and CeeDee Lamb, all of them going to be able to take advantage of that. And then, because you see what the 49ers did to the Rams. They had, hold them to 9 points in that game. Come on. If Dallas holds them to 9 points or 10 points this game, then the Rams got more problems than we realize. So with that being said, I'm going with Dallas in this one, because the Rams have not showed me anything, because technically they should be 1 and they should be 1-3. And just a score update right now, guys. The Giants has just tied Green Bay, and it's 20-20 in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes and 32 seconds left, and they got the ball on Green Bay's 9-yard line right now.
Get it, go New York.
So
bust that Karen Rodgers ass.
So I think what we had
update.
A few more games.
I just got the injury report for the Lions versus Pats.
Yeah, I see St. Brown's playing.
St. Brown is playing. Josh Reynolds is playing. Who is out is our version of Eli Apple. Amani Oruwariye is out. DJ Shark is out. DeAndre Swift is out. We didn't miss him last week. I don't think we'll miss him this week either. Charles Harris, John Kaminsky. John Kaminsky is the one that's hurting the Lions right now. He was the one that was getting the interior pressure, which was freeing up Hutch against the Washington game. And since he's been out, Hutch has been ineffective. Hutch has been moved to outside linebacker. Everybody's like, oh, he's got to go up against this guy. I said, he's been moved to outside linebacker. He's going to be playing both sides of that defense, because he played the 7 and 9 technique with Michigan, and he did very well. That was actually when he got all of his production, was that outside linebacker instead of DN.
All right, we're going to move on to the next game. The only undefeated team that's in the league right now, the Philadelphia Eagles and Arizona Cardinals. Now, they do play in Arizona.
I don't care. Eagles win. I'm not betting against the Eagles the
I,
rest of the season. The Eagles win.
I'm gonna reverse this backwards a little bit, so I'm gonna go with Dylan first.
Oh, damn.
This one short. I don't know why my internet was up on Sundays. I don't know if I don't have any other issues on any podcast but Sundays. So that being said, I picked Arizona in one of my early in the week as my upset pick. I'm wearing a Jalen Hurts shirt just because I got to get the sports shirts in rotate. I reuse them. I picked Arizona earlier in the week. I boil it down to I picked Jacksonville upset Philadelphia.
We didn't hear a word you said there at the end. We heard you say you picked Arizona in an upset, and then it broke up.
I know. I think he said he picked Jacksonville to upset Philadelphia too.
Yeah, I picked Jacksonville. That happened, so I was like the Arizona Murray fan. Like Arizona, had a lot of struggles. Cliff Kingsbury's had a lot of struggles. This team's under a lot of flack. They're going to be on Hard Knocks soon, and I believe like November. So that's a lot. That's going to be really interesting when that happens. Basically, I'm not going to go too much more in depth. I'm just going to say I'm picking Arizona. I picked them earlier in the week. I went with a more in-depth prediction on why I did.
Okay.
You heard me. I'm picking Philly. I can't choose Arizona because Cliff Kingsbury is still the coach, and Kyler Murray is a midget of a quarterback that can't see over his O-line.
All right. Well, hey, there you have it. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Philly just because they defense. Like I said, I just alluded to Dallas. They are the two top sacking teams in the league. I didn't even touch on the Rams game because Matthew Stafford is second in the league of getting sacked the most, and Carson Wentz first. I think they're gonna harass Kyler Murray a lot. Arizona gonna have their hands full of trying to because Arizona gonna think Jalen Hurts is gonna run the ball, and that's what's going to get them in trouble because he can run the ball, but I think they're gonna do their damage against Arizona through the air, and I don't see Kyler Murray, having much success against that Eagles front seven, that front line of theirs. I don't see it happening until him and the coach, his head coach, get on the same page, and they ain't not gonna be on the same page until one of them leave, and most likely it'll be the coach at the end of the season. I don't see Arizona going. Now they tied in the division 2-2, along with the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Rams, but I think they will be behind the 8 ball this game. I think Philadelphia is going to. I think Philadelphia is going to I give Philadelphia 5 sacks this game. That's just what I see.
Nice.
Let me. I think. All right, and then we go. Well, we did the Monday night game, and we got one more game, and it's the Bengals and the Ravens. All right, Jeremy, take it.
All right. Bengals versus Ravens. Well, that bird has not been able to get it done. The Ravens defense is not holding teams down at the end of games, and it's been costing them. And I have the feeling it's going to happen again. They haven't been getting great pressure. They haven't been doing everything right like they should. That being said, I'm picking the Bengals to win because the Bengals look like they're coming into form. That O-line finally started to gel and communicate and work out better.
Yeah, the Ravens have issues. Lamar Jackson's playing on an MVP type level this year, and most likely he'll probably win the MVP again if he keeps putting up the numbers. I just think Jim Harbaugh caused them that game last week.
You mean John Harbaugh?
John Harbaugh, yeah, Jim
Harbaugh's coaching Michigan. John Harbaugh coaches Baltimore.
They cost them that game last week. You was winning the game. You allow Bills to come back in. It just sometimes it seems like the Ravens have these games where they could win them, and it'll just be one play in the game that turns them around to where they lose the game. And we know from John Harbaugh's team in the past, yeah, you used to have great defense. Now you have our offense built around a dynamic player, but at the same time, y'all have to put it all together. Because, I mean, for whatever reason, if y'all don't get this contract situation with Lamar together and you franchise tag him and he leaves in another year, you're going to be looking for a lot. And either get it fixed now where y'all very competitive. I like Joe Burrow. I like the Bengals. They, like you said, they are getting together now with the offensive line. They could take advantage of a lot of things the Ravens don't do on defense. Pretty good. But how well they contain Lamar Jackson is going to be an issue, put pressure on them. So this game actually could go either way. I think I'm gonna give Baltimore another shot at this to see if they get it right this week. I'm picking them probably another. Jeremy said, "Nah, they won't." I'm picking them in a close game, 3-point game. But I won't be surprised if the Bengals do take this from them.
Is the Bengals at Baltimore?
Yeah, they at Baltimore.
I'd still say the Bengals win.
All right. So Dylan got tapped out. So I don't know if he'll be back in, but I know we already about an hour in. I do want
to Joshua Elliott and Lennon Crisp for us.
Hold on. Dylan said he backstage, but I can't even let him in because I don't have control.
Right.
I can't. I don't have control of the
So Chase podcast is probably at work and can't be in here anymore, so he can't bring you back in, Dylan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Joshua Elliott says Chase's dial-up failed again. And Lennon Chris says, good morning, guys. Hope you all are having a great day. Baltimore loses in overtime by 3. I don't even think it gets to overtime. I think they're going to lose outright at the end of the game like they've done the last 2 weeks. They're hurt. And I'm not saying just a little bit. They got key starters that are hurt on that defense.
Dylan said he picked Baltimore. We do got one more game. San Francisco and Carolina.
If anybody picks Carolina, they bump their damn heads. 49ers win this and run away.
Yeah, I'm picking 49ers. There ain't no there's nothing to go into with that. Dylan said he got the Niners too, so that's 3-0 right there. So
are you able to end the stream?
Yeah, I think everybody could just leave.
No, but that doesn't end the stream. It leaves it running.
Oh, well.
Chase has to end the broadcast.
Wow, I don't know.
Anybody know a way to get a hold of him, or somebody want to let Chase know?
Fred, hold on. Dylan said he's done that before. So I guess if we leave,
Dylan Reed picked 49ers as well.
Yeah. So just an update now. It's 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Packers had the ball on 1st and 10 on the Giants 44, and the Giants are winning by 7 points right now. 27.
Let's go, New York. Stop that mofo.
I want to go back. I do want to go back before we leave off air. I think right now for Tennessee to have some kind of success, I believe they really need to let Malik Willis play. I think the dynamic of him, if Traylon Burks were there, it would help him a little bit. But I think right now,
I disagree with Malik Willis playing in his first year at all. Malik Willis does not look good. He came in late, and he threw a pick that cost them a chance at winning that game. He is not good. He's not a good decision maker. While he was at Liberty, he beat up on a lot of bad teams, but as soon as he played against ranked teams, he disappeared and threw a lot more picks than touchdowns.
And see, and this is why I wasn't high on him.
Oh, I wasn't at all.
Doing the draft, and a lot of people say, "Oh, we need to get Malik Willis. We need to get." I was like, "Yeah, he got a strong arm, but he's not accurate." The person that I really wanted for the Commanders was Desmond Ridder. I'm a huge Desmond Ridder fan. I'm telling you, when it comes down picking quarterbacks for a team,
it's hard.
I had that knack for it. I was high on Josh Allen for the Commanders. When we was the Washington football team, Redskins at the time, I say Josh Allen was that guy for us.
I'd tell you my nickname, but you wouldn't like it.
And
when they were the Redskins, I never called them the Redskins then because they always beat my Barry Sanders, so I called them the Foreskins.
The Foreskins.
And I don't know why. You guys live in a tribal nation land. That District of Columbia was never really purchased from them. They allowed you to set up the capital there back in the day. So why didn't they name it after the tribe? Not call it the Redskins. They could have kept the same logo then and called it the Potomacs, which makes way more sense.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you had Dan Snyder as the owner.
Yeah, the guy that stole from the NFL and maybe losing the team. Would that hurt your feelings?
No, I'm ready. I could do a better job as an owner than he can over there. I think we wrapped up every team right now.
I was going over that list, like I said, of the injury report that I saw for New England and Detroit as well.
So I think without Chase leaving, Dylan having, in and out, I think we always have a good show. We get in a little bit depth. We talk a little bit about each team and everything. So it's definitely, good. And good connecting with you, Jeremy, for the first time. So that's, it's real awesome to do and everything. So
I enjoyed it. Every Wednesday night, I do an NFL-based show. It's not just I'm a Lions fan running my own podcast, of course, but I do one where I cover like 3 of the top stories for the week in the NFL, and then I do my pick'em show on Wednesday, so we can get the Thursday night football game in.
Okay, so what time do your show start?
My show on Wednesday starts at 8 p.m. My Monday and Friday show starts at 9.
Okay, cool. I guess just, I don't know if we're friends on Facebook, but we could connect because I do my my NFL roundtable on Wednesdays at 7. So I have that's
what I call my NFL roundtable talk.
So, but it's more of a NFC East roundtable. So I have 4 people from each team represented, and I bring them in and we just talk about around the league, around what our teams did, past games, and look forward to the next game. So I usually start that with them around 7 on Wednesdays. And then I have my Washington show on Mondays at 7, also called the Aftermath. So it's every game, whatever we done. And then I have my Miami Hurricane show on Tuesday. So I have a lot going on. Then, I'm here on Sundays, and then Saturday mornings, I usually do the college show with Sports Empire Network too, with Big Dogs on Campus. So unless that, definitely I will check out your show and everything, and and chime in, see everything going. But everybody's pretty busy. Everybody has a lot of shows to cover, so it's really
I go back to back on Monday. I go back to back on Thursday because I am also a part of the Let's Talk Sports Network, and we do our post-game Thursday night show. So I had to watch that entire fiasco that happened Thursday night.
The field goal game,
the no offense, barely a defense field goal game. Yes, that's what I called it. And I guarantee you, the Broncos have a lot of buyer's remorse right now.
Mm-hmm.
As they should.
Yeah, I'm glad we just didn't went out and got Russell Wilson. I'm so glad. I'm really glad. Even though we end up with Carson Wentz, I could have took Jimmy G, but hey, it's what it is now. So, but I guess this completes another Sunday of the Sunday morning drive. Here on Sports Empire Network. I'm your host, Livewire Sports Entertainment, taking over for Chase, and we got Jeremy, and we'll see y'all next week, guys. Until then, enjoy your Sunday. Go Commanders, go Lions. We out.
We out.